Hello, Mario! In this video, or this series of videos, I'm going to try and get the data that we collected in the field into a plan, into 12D, and draw a topographical plan with control various aspects of what we've done. So this is the first in the series of videos where we will try and first of all locate the data and then get it sort of ready for input into 12D. So let's go to the full screen mode here, and we're going to first of all try and find our data, which is going to be in Moodle. So we'll just log in here and log into Moodle and find our data. So here is we've got to go to the right course. So the course that we're going is, of course, engineering surveying in this case here. So we just go to engineering surveying and go to our ZEALANDIA data. And here's our field data in CSV format here, which we will then open and allow, and there it is there. And what you can see here is this is all of our data in here, but it's got all the control data in there as well, and I've got other means of getting that in. So at this stage here, one of the first things I'm going to do is just delete all of the control data there like that. Delete sheet rows, and that'll go like that. Now I also happen to know that this little one here was done in error, so I'm going to delete that as well. Delete sheet rows. Okay, and that's our CSV data fresh out of the field. Now what I do happen to know through my previous experiences that this data is going to need further manipulation as time goes on. But what I'm going to do is to first of all just load this into the 12D project and just to see what it is we've got and identify some of the problems. So I'm just going to save that now, file, save as, and I've just going to save it in my flash drive, and I've got it in here in the ZEALANDIA parking complex 2016 project, and I've got it there as reduce data there, and I'm just going to put it, I've actually put it there, so that's there, and we can save it and save it there. So I've got 216 topo data reduced. I'll just put this topo data reduced. I'll just call it version 1 at this stage, topo data reduced version 1. Now you want to save it as in a CSV format, so save, and it'll ask you, do you want to keep this format, and it's yes. Okay, now then we can leave it there. File, exit out of here, file, close, and don't save it because you've saved it as a CSV, so it'll save it. in another format. All right, so now we need to fire up the 12D. Now this is the only one that works on my laptop. I'm still working on that, so you'll be using the other model, 12D, the thing. So we're going to start up a project, and this is the project here. I've got a bit of a. I'll start it from scratch. So I'm going to just identify where you want to store it. It's always important. So I'm going to put it on my flash drive, 216 project, and I'll just put it in there, and that'll be the folder that I want it in. So that's all good. And then the project name, I'm going to give it 2016 ZEALANDIA. I'll call it ZEALANDIA video. I'll call this my video one. So this is the one that I'm using in the videos. I have various other versions of it as trials and that, so that I can get things going better. So just go proceed. Okay, so that this will be the one that we're working on, the video project. Okay, you can fill in these are sort of little details around there if you want, but it's not important. Well, it is important in a work environment, but not altogether necessary. So yeah, so let's go here. So now we're going to import this data, and so I have shown you various ways, but this way here long term might save you some time. So data input, and we go to so file IO, data input, walk right on there, onto there, and I'm going to go to the XYZ general one there. Okay, because this gives us a few more options, and I'm going to make this quite considerably bigger. Okay, now we won't do the parameter file just yet, but we're going to go to file. So we go to basic file. So first of all, this is the file that we want to read. So this is where we identify the file that we just had before, 2016 reduced data. Now you'll notice that it's looking for a .dat, but we solved it as a CSV, so we've got to change it to a CSV. And so I've got the 216 reduced version 1 was the data that I just showed you. So I'm just going to choose that file there. So that's my file, basic. So the default line color is red. I'm just going to go with everything as red. Okay. The default text style, you always just need to have as 1. Default text style, skip column headers, join all. I'll leave that on just for now. We can always change it. Use string attributes in drawing. Keep leading and trailing. That's all good. Create. This is the default model for data. So what we're going to go there is unknown. So that's just the unknown model, and that's all good there. Now the format, the information type. Now you'll currently left click, right click. So the first, if you looked at the file, and I should have taken time to point that out, the first thing we have is the point ID, and that's in column 1. Okay, enter, and then in here, left click, oops, I can go browse now, I think. Right click in there, and it's the Y coordinate that's actually next. That's the northern the northing is actually the Y coordinate. So we put that in there. Then left click, right click, oops, browse, oh, something like that. Next is the X coordinate, which is in 3. And then next up is the Z coordinate. This next, which is the height, and that's in 4. And then in 5, we have the we actually have the string name and number, and this is one of the issues that I have possibly identified, but and that's in 5. Now that's how we've got it set up at the moment, and we will have to change this. The input mode is delimiter, and it's a comma. Okay, so this is through, that's there like that. At this stage we don't have a map file, and we'll be doing that later, and fencing is not relevant to us. Now I'm just going to call this one here, this is a parameter file, so we're going to call this 2016 ZEALANDIA as the parameter file, 2016 ZEALANDIA. So that's there, and what we need to do is we need to write this file. So 200, that's going to be the writing of the file. You might want to check where it's being written, and we can browse to there. So it's actually been written in this in the project there. So okay, so now we can go and push read. Okay, and this is what we get. I'll just put that over on my second screen out of the way, and this is what we get. And we can see there's a few problems here with various joining and things like that that we need to resolve, because what's happening is, because of this method that we're using here, and there are other methods, the strings are not being identified, so it's all treated as one string. There is also another problem, and it seems here that we've got the ponds over there when they should be here, and I believe that this is resulted from an incorrect identification of the base station in the second set of data. So we're going to have to deal with that. But one of the first things we're going to have to deal with is the fact that we need to separate the string, the point name, and the string number, and then that will help us with a number of these issues, because the strings are not ending there. And it will also help if we have start making a map file. So that's identified some problems there. So I'm going to stop the video there at this point. We have got it into the thing there. So I'm going to go and now do some work. I think I've investigated this, in the easiest way is to go and do some work on the CSV file and manipulate that around. So I'm going to do two things on the CSV file. One is I'm going to try and separate out the string numbers, the string name, the point names and the string numbers, and then I'm also going to try and translate the pond data so that it sits in the right place. And so the next videos will be involved in trying to organize those issues and get them all sorted. So cheers, see you.